Hey there, history explorers! Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Ancient Histrologer, where we explore the past with curiosity, compassion, and a commitment to truth, your trusted guide through time and today. We're tackling a story that shaped faiths, identities, and even modern debates, the Roman exile of the Jewish people. Picture Jerusalem in 70 CE, the majestic Second Temple standing as a beacon of faith, only to be consumed by flames from Roman legions. Tradition tells us this moment sparked a mass expulsion, launching a 2,000-year diaspora of wandering and yearning for return. It's a tale that's echoed in prayers, literature, and the birth of modern Israel. But some scholars call it a Zionist myth, an overstated narrative used to support land claims, sometimes at the expense of Palestinian stories. So, what really happened? Let's dive in together, with empathy for all perspectives and a focus on the evidence. Introduction. Why this matters. Let's start by understanding the narrative's power. The Roman exile is a cornerstone of Jewish tradition and Zionist historiography. It's often portrayed as a cataclysmic event. After the Romans destroyed the Second Temple in 70 CE, Jews were banished from Judea, today's Israel and Palestine, leading to the Galut, or Diaspora. This story frames nearly 2,000 years as a time of dispersion, persecution, and an unbreakable spiritual bond to the land, culminating in Israel's founding in 1948. You can feel its resonance in Jewish liturgy, like the Amidah prayer begging for Jerusalem's restoration, or in Zionist slogans about a people returning home. It's a profound tale of loss and hope, one that's comforted and inspired generations facing adversity. But here's where things get nuanced. In 2008, Israeli historian Shlomo Sand released The Invention of the Jewish People, arguing that the mass exile is a fabricated origin myth. Sand claims there's no evidence of a wholesale deportation. The diaspora was already thriving before 70 CE, fueled by voluntary migration, trade, and earlier exiles like the Babylonian one in 586 BCE. His book gained traction in anti-Zionist circles, influencing outlets like Le Monde Diplomatique and Electronic Intifada, where it's seen as debunking fake history that justifies modern Jewish claims to the land while ignoring Palestinian roots. Sand's ideas challenge the ethnic continuity narrative, suggesting many modern Jews descend from converts rather than exiled Judeans. I know this topic can evoke strong emotions. It's linked to real histories of trauma and conflict for Jews and Palestinians alike. My goal isn't to take sides or diminish anyone's pain. It's to walk you through the facts like a caring teacher, using primary sources, archaeology, and balanced scholarship. Let's approach this with calm and clarity, honoring the complexity. So, what does the traditional story look like? It revolves around the First Jewish-Roman War, 66-73 CE. Judea, a Roman province, was simmering with resentment over taxes, cultural clashes, and local corruption. A revolt erupted, led by zealots seeking independence. The Romans, under Titus, besieged Jerusalem in 70 CE. After brutal months of famine and internal strife, the city fell. The Second Temple was razed. Josephus, our key eyewitness, calls it an accident amid the chaos, and much of Jerusalem was destroyed. In this view, the aftermath was exile. Tens of thousands enslaved, sold across the empire, or fleeing, depopulating Judea and birthing the Galut. This event became symbolic in Jewish memory, mourned annually on Tisha B'Av, and later fueled Zionist dreams of return. Now, Shlomo Sand's revisionist take. He argues no Roman policy aimed at total expulsion. Romans conquered and taxed, not emptied provinces. Josephus reports 97,000 captives. But Sand sees this as punishment for rebels, not ethnic cleansing. Jews remained in Galilee and elsewhere, populous enough for the Bar Kokhba Revolt in 132-136 CE. Sand traces the myth's origins to 2nd century Christian theologians like Justin Martyr, who cast Jewish wandering as divine curse, later adopted by rabbis and Zionists for unity. His boldest point, conversions, like Khazars or Berbers, explain Jewish diversity, undermining exile-based claims. Critics say Sand overstates for ideology, ignoring Josephus's enslavement details and genetic evidence of Levantine ancestry. As Israel Bartal notes, the myth is folklore, not academic consensus. Let's reflect. History blends fact and interpretation. The wars caused real suffering, but continuity persisted. We'll explore the evidence next, staying grounded. The First Jewish-Roman War and Destruction. Now that we've set the stage, let's zoom in on the events themselves, starting with the First Jewish-Roman War. By the mid-1st century CE, Judea was a powder keg under Roman control. The Romans had conquered the region in 63 BCE, imposing heavy taxes, appointing corrupt governors, and sometimes clashing with Jewish customs, like placing imperial statues in holy sites. Tensions built, and in 66 CE a revolt erupted. Jewish factions, including Zealots and Sicarii, seized Jerusalem and drove out Roman forces, declaring independence. It was a bold move, born of frustration and faith, but it invited a massive Roman response. Emperor Nero sent General Vespasian and his son Titus with legions to crush the uprising. The Romans methodically reclaimed territory, reaching Jerusalem in 70 CE. The siege was horrific. Josephus, who started as a Jewish commander but defected to Rome, describes walls of circumvallation trapping the city, leading to starvation. Factions inside Jerusalem fought each other as much as the Romans, worsening the famine. When the walls finally breached, the city was sacked. The Second Temple caught fire. Josephus insists it was unintentional, amid the frenzy, and was destroyed, its treasures paraded in Rome. As depicted on the Arch of Titus, Josephus estimates 1.1 million deaths. Though modern scholars think that's exaggerated, realistic figures are 60,000 to 100,000 across the war. Archaeological evidence backs the devastation. Ash layers in Jerusalem's City of David, toppled stones from the Temple Mount, reminders of a real catastrophe. What about the exile? Here's where nuance matters. No Roman decree ordered all Jews out. Instead, the Romans enslaved captives as punishment, a standard practice for rebels. Josephus reports 97,000 taken prisoner, with 30,000 sent to Carthage for labor. Many were sold into gladiatorial games, construction, or households across the empire. Over time, most were manumitted and joined existing diaspora communities, accelerating migration. This wasn't unique to Jews. Romans did the same to Gauls or Britons. It was traumatic, no doubt, but not a total ethnic purge. Let's hold that thought with compassion. The human cost was immense, families torn apart, lives shattered. Importantly, Judea wasn't emptied. Significant Jewish populations stayed in Galilee, coastal cities like Caesarea, and rural areas. By the 130s CE, they were numerous enough for another revolt. This continuity challenges the full exile idea. As historians like Erich Gruen note, the diaspora predated 70 CE, with more Jews abroad than in Judea by the 1st century BCE. Genetic studies from 2010-2020 reinforce this, showing modern Jewish groups share Levantine ancestry, blending continuity and outward movement. Let's reflect, these wars were turning points, causing sharp population drops through death, slavery and flight, not a single edict. Jewish life shifted north to Galilee, where the Mishnah was compiled around 200 CE, and east to Babylonia. The story isn't simple exile, it's a cascade of losses shaping identity. We'll explore the Bar Kokhba Revolt next, to see how it intensified things.